video walkthrough of this assignment that is due on Tuesday, since I know that this homework assignment is one of the more complicated assignments that I've done so far, and I did have a lot of questions in my office hours about this, so I want to make sure we're all on the same page on what I'm looking for. So to access this close reading Lost Boys of Sudan note catcher assignment, I'm in my Google Classroom. I'm going to go over to classwork, and then go down to this close read the Lost Boys of Sudan assignment that we have been working on Thursday, Friday, and then throughout the weekend. And you can access the text here, so make sure to have that pulled up as you are working on this, and then I can go over to the document here to pull up the worksheet. So I'm just going to quickly go through each section and make sure we all have a good sense of what you need to do in this worksheet. So this worksheet as a whole is asking us, what are the central ideas of this text? How does the author develop these ideas? You don't need to answer this question right here. These worksheets also always include a main question at the start to help you think about the worksheet as you get into it. So you only need to do the boxes down below. So we worked on paragraph 2 on Thursday. And remember, in this one, what we're doing in each of these boxes is looking at individual paragraphs from the text and then filling out details from those paragraphs in the boxes here. So this paragraph 2 is pretty simple. It's asking, what is the main idea of the paragraph? You can just type that into the box there. And then in the supporting details section, figure out 1 or 2 sentences or phrases that help you find that main idea. So read the paragraph, figure out what the main idea of that paragraph is, and then give me a few sentences that help you know that. Moving along to paragraphs 3 and 4, this is the box that we worked on in our breakout rooms on Friday. So we're doing the same thing at the top. We're reading paragraphs 3 and 4, and they have the same main idea. Both of those paragraphs are doing the same thing. So you can read those paragraphs and come up with the main idea here. Now below, you'll do a couple things. You can stick your supporting details in this box down here, other supporting details. But one thing that you should notice here is that these 2 boxes are asking for hopes or expectations or realities. In these boxes, you're comparing what the Lost Boys thought that they would experience when they either went to the cities or the refugee camps versus what actually happened to them. And what happened to them was much worse, right? Like they thought that it would be better than it actually was. And the cool thing about this box is that hopes and expectations versus realities, that keys into the main idea. So if you aren't sure what the main idea is, think about these boxes, and that'll help you figure out the main idea. So compare and contrast, you can bullet point a few hopes and expectations versus what actually happened as a result. Supporting details will support both the main idea and hopes and expectations versus realities because they're the same thing. Finally, at the bottom, remember we talked about the central idea of the article. That central idea of the article being something about how the Lost Boys came to be known as the Lost Boys, about their journey. Remember, this is a nonfiction text talking about the Lost Boys. So how does this paragraph, or these 2 paragraphs, help us support the main idea of the article? That's what you're answering in this last box here. Moving along to page 3 in the closing paragraph section, what we're doing here is looking at that last paragraph, the one that brings us up to the present day, where it's saying, since 1992, UNICEF has reunited the boys, that kind of thing. In that paragraph, we're wondering, how does this paragraph and supporting details here, how does that further develop the central idea? So same thing you're doing in this box here. How does this paragraph fit into the central idea of the piece as a whole? And then finally, notes on the final sentence. So we know from reading the text that in the final sentence, they interview Simone, who is one of the Lost Boys. Tell me why that matters in the context of this piece. Why does it matter that after reading an informational piece for this whole time that we actually heard from a lost boy? And then finally, really easy section at the bottom here, we're defining 2 words, displaced and harrowing. In the clues section, give me some context clues for how you know what this word means. So some phrases or words around that word that help you determine that. And then in the definition section, you can literally just copy and paste a definition from the dictionary into this section. All right. If you have any questions about this, send me an email and I will help you work out with this. And then you can also come to my office hours on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend.